anticipation. Yes, today is the last Sunday, the last day of summer. Tomorrow is autumn equinox. There's magic in the air. Yes, it's a very powerful time energetically in the cosmos. And here at Wellspring. Abracadabra. Bibbidi boppity boo. Okay, good morning, Wellspring. Good morning, Zoomland, and all others who will watch this recording later on. Welcome to Wellspring. As we've said, this is the last day of summer. Tomorrow we have to get our sweaters out. It'll be cold. So, yeah, right. My name is Vicki Avery, and it's an honor to be of service today. I am a board member. I'm not bored, but I'm a member of the board. And today is September 21st. It also is National Gratitude Day. For me, every day I am grateful when I wake up. It's a gift, and that's why we call it the present. So, ba-dum-bump. So, anyhow, as Shirley says, we have a few opportunities for you. Early Birds meets Sunday mornings at 9:30 via Zoom. The link is on our weekly email or on our website. And our speaker today is our own beloved Dr. Edward. Next week will be Donna Stryker. Thursday evening group continues to meet at 7 o'clock in the social hall or on Zoom, and you can get the coordinates from either Cleona or from Edward to join. They watch a video. They've been doing a lot of Gaia videos, and then there's discussion afterwards. Next week, 2 weeks from now, excuse me, a gentleman from El Paso will be our guest speaker. His name is Keith Giles, and he left the pulpit to follow Jesus and started a church where 100% of the offerings go to the poor. He has written many books, among them The Quantum Sayings of Jesus and Before You Lose Your Mind. It's a book about deconstructing bad theology in the churches. And he did say that he will bring copies of his books, so if you're interested, otherwise they are available on Amazon. And our October outing is the New Horizons Band concert, Saturday, October 11th at 3 o'clock at Atkinson's Recital Hall at the NMSU campus. And we'll have dinner at Kettle Barons afterwards. And speaking of community outings, we had a lovely community outing yesterday. We went down to the arena at Landmark Center in Mesquite at the Gymkhana to watch horse skills, riders doing the barrels and the flags. And they have this one event that is so adorable. It's called the Lead Line, and future cowboys and cowgirls ages 3 to 6 are led on horses to do around the barrels, and they are just adorable. So it was great fun. So please join the community outings. We have a lot of good time together. Back to Keith. Speaking of books, I have show and tell. One of our very own folks, Jan Hampton, amazing, creative person, has written 2 books called Jennifer. It's about a tree and her relationship with all the living beings around her, and Weed, about a weed in the garden. Weed isn't accepted because weed is different. So it's and her illustrations are amazing. And I did bring these, and I'll have them next door so you can all take a look at them. Okay? And lastly, our prayer group remains ready to be of service and pray and support you, pray with you. You may submit a request via our webpage, or we do have hard copies in the back. You can fill one out and give it to Edward. The prayer team meets virtually on Tuesday afternoons at 4:15 to pray with you. And you may consider sitting in your quiet space during that time, because we know that we are one in spirit, and the energy of prayer knows no limits. And now it's time for an invocation. Mother, Father, God, Great Spirit, all that is, that flows in, through, and around each of us, we acknowledge your presence with us today as we gather as a like-minded community here at our beloved Wellspring to celebrate life. We know that all is in divine order, and we do celebrate life. We celebrate the changing of the seasons and the changing of the energy in the cosmos. We know that we are on the exact path that we need to be for our own spiritual growth. We give great thanks for this time to come together and for each other as we say together, and so it is. And so now, if you're able, it's time to stand and sing our song of joy. And Edwin will lead us in that, Down by the Riverside. And he'll be accompanied by Doug Adams with a Z.
Well, this song, Down by the Riverside, what does that mean? Remember in specifically 19th century, people would get baptized as a whole congregation. And that's kind of what this is referring to. So lay down my burden down by the riverside. Going away. My sword and shield, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, lay down my sword and shield, down by the riverside, study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Study
Y'all sounded so purry. I think we should take our act on the road. They tell me I should be on stage at Leaves in about a half an hour. So if you would please now, let's read together our vision, mission, and our affirmation. Our vision, to elevate spiritual consciousness in our world. Our mission, to support individual spiritual quests through celebration, study, counsel, loving fellowship, and service. And our affirmation, I walk in harmony with the divine, allowing peace and wisdom to guide my journey. I trust in the unfolding of my path, knowing that all is well. Spirit expresses through me as a clarity, strength, and unwavering faith. Perfect. Thank you. And now, it's time for our special music with Doug Adams.
Try this at home. Not a licensed professional. Well, it's so great to be here. It's great to come every time. I really am grateful for Wellspring, and Barry Shaw first asked me to come here a few years ago, and I have to say it's been a huge influence on my life. Coming back regularly and writing songs that I probably never would have written if it weren't for Wellspring. And that's what I'm going to play now, is one of those. It's called The Higher Power of Love. On a quiet day, everything is in motion, every leaf, every stone shimmers with light. We call it love, that sends it all spinning, that sends my heart flying just as high as a kite. The breeze that I breathe, the sound of the mountain, the wisdom of hummingbird, wings by a flower. I felt so alone, cut off in this beauty, when a voice came upon me, it was singing of power. It was a power of love, the higher power, here every moment of every day, here every moment of every hour. I'm taking it with me all along my way. Deeper than sleep, deeper than oceans, wider than mockingbird song through the sage. The book of love has no beginning or ending, and we are like lyrics dancing over the page. For the power of love, I need never hunger, melting like snow, the most ironclad curse. Here all around me, just like a spring shower. For that higher power, I never need thirst. And it's all about the power of love, the higher power, here every moment of every day. Here every moment of every hour, I'm taking it with me all along my way. All along my way. All along my way. All along my way. Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Vicki.
We are so grateful that you come and share your gift of music with us. I'm grateful for each one of you for being here. I see a new face. I see a face who's been on vacation, who's back with us. And all the lovely children of God are here. Awesome. So since it is National Gratitude Day, I have a reading from the big book, the Science of Mind textbook. It is on page 497. It's called Constant Prayer. Pray without ceasing. This means to always be on the affirmative side of life. To pray without ceasing is to doubt never, but to always trust in the law of God. This inner communication is essential to the soul and natural to the mind. It is a constant recognition of our relationship to that presence in which we live and move and have our being. In everything, give thanks. An attitude of gratitude is most salutary and bespeaks the realization that we are now in heaven. How we love to do for those who cooperate with and are grateful for our small endeavors. Gratitude is one of the chief graces of human existence and is crowned in heaven with a consciousness of unity. And so it is. And now it is my great privilege to introduce our dear Dr. Edward.
Thanks, Vicki. Thanks, Doug. I mean, as long as we're here in gratitude, I remember the first time that Doug debuted one of his songs written for Wellspring. It was fantastic. And I just have to say to those who have not known Doug for a long time, although most in this room have, his blossoming over the years, if Wellspring had anything to do with that, we are grateful. But it's been a true blessing to see that occurring. I know as Nancy calls you the walking jukebox, I'm just forever amazed at all the songs that you know, but then it's some of these new ones that you come up with that are just so on point. And in case you didn't know it, those 2 extra verses in the Song of Joy were written by him. Yeah. Right here. Well, you had sung the first one, and then you said, well, I was thinking that the same phrasing, and then you just popped out 2 more. So anyway, it was wonderful. So I guess as long as we're talking about gifts, today's topic is your triggers are gifts from Spirit. But I'm going to start out by bringing forth one of the books that I really enjoy. It's called The Little Soul and the Sun. It's a children's book. It's written by Neil Donald Walsh. And this is about a young soul who's been living the life of Riley in heaven. I'm paraphrasing a little bit here. But is sitting and speaking with God and says, you know, I'd like to experience more of who I am. And God says, well, what aspect of yourself would you like to experience more of? And The little soul said, I'd like to learn more about forgiveness. But there's one problem. There's nobody up here in heaven, or wherever here is, to forgive. So what are we going to do? And a friendly soul in the back of the room stood up and said, I'll be happy to volunteer to be that person for you to learn to forgive. He says, I will go down to earth with you, and I will meet you, and I will be the person that you have to learn to forgive. And the little soul is just so ecstatic that he's going to learn more about forgiveness and so forth. And the other little soul says, but there's kind of a catch here. I have to lower my vibration in order to be that person. So during the course of you learning to forgive me, you have to remind me of who we both are. So what a blessing to have this teacher, shall we say, in your life. Sometimes it's not easy to be the teacher. For me, this story sets up, I'll say, the paradigm of why we are here on earth. And we are here to more fully experience ourselves as we truly are. But in order to do that, we have to find ourselves in or experience many times the opposite of what it is we're learning more of. So to experience the light, we have to experience the darkness. To experience the greater than, we have to experience and process our own perceptions of our lesser than. So it's said in some places that Earth is one of the venues with the greatest growth potential in the universe. And therefore, we're here. I guarantee you that you've chosen to incarnate here, because I see you, right? We all wanted to jump on, I'll call it the fast track of spiritual evolution. Rather than sitting in heaven and playing our harp all day, we decided to come down here, get our feet dirty, get our hands dirty, slog through the mud, because we knew that that was the fastest route to experiencing more of who we truly are. Now, did you expect it to be easy peasy? You know, it's like, oh. No, I don't think any of us was promised that it'd be all buttercups and roses. No. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but it's just that we all knew or know that there would or will be challenges to overcome. All right, so I'm just kind of setting the table, as some folks say. So likewise, if our goal was to be the love that we already are, isn't it useful to find out what is in the way of our being love? And how does that come about? Triggers. So what's the spiritual meaning of a trigger? And I say it this way: your triggers are a message from your spirit showing you where you're holding on to an internal wound that is asking to be healed. Your triggers are a sign identifying what patterns you carry that no longer support you. And I've used this analogy before, the analogy of the windshield. You know, it's got some bugs on it, a little bit of mud splatter, maybe some bird droppings on it. And, you know, it kind of obstructs our view. So we want to wash it off. And our goal is likely to achieve a completely clear windshield, rather than saying, oh, that one mud spot right there, I think I'll leave it. It's my favorite. And I imagine most of us here remember back in the days when we actually had non-self-serve gas stations, And many times the guy would be filling the gas and he'd come out and he'd wash the windshield. And as a kid, my mother was sitting in the front seat, and my dad was driving in this situation I'm thinking about. And she would tap on the windshield there where the guy was washing. It's like, you missed a spot, right? So what did he do? He sprayed a little more cleaner on it, rubbed it a little bit more. So our triggers are like this loving mother pointing out dirty spots in your windshield. Just as a total side, did you know that only New Jersey and some situations in Oregon maintain their ban on self-service gasoline stations? Okay. So another way of looking at this, let me back up to say, have you ever watched a video on YouTube or heard a speaker and that said, well, I'm a life coach, right? And you go, they are good. I mean, I would really like to have them as my life coach. What would I give to have them as my life coach? Do you realize that there's an even better life coach available to you? You came equipped with your own life coach. I mean, it's just customized for exactly what it is you need to learn. It's your higher self, right? And this life coach works with us. I kind of say sometimes it's a co-conspirator with God, to bring into our experience or attract to us just the right and perfect thing for us to deal with next. Not 2 weeks from now, now. If we had a piano teacher or a voice coach, or any other kind of coach you could say, would we whine to our friends that they were making us stretch ourselves? Oh, you can't believe it. My coach just wanted me to reach one higher note, or to do that piano part just a little better. This is my coaches. No, I mean, we sort of had a contract with our coach that they were here to help us. Because we wanted them to help us. So we created our own life coach, or our own life coach came with us, and we had a contract with that coach, whether it was written or not, that we were here to improve ourselves, and that we wanted that coach's advice to help us do that. I was stumbled on this speaker, Peter Crone. I had never heard of him before. He calls himself the mind architect. He's a thought leader in human potential and performance. He specializes in helping people overcome the constraints of their subconscious mind so they can ditch their limiting beliefs and break free from constraints. So he puts everything in terms of freedom, but he says being triggered is a gift because it's showing you what's in the way of your freedom. Being triggered is showing us where we have unresolved issues. My words now, as Quimby might say, being triggered is showing us our fallacious thinking or failings in our belief system so we can be healed. So, how many of you, raise your hand if you don't have any clue what a trigger is? And don't all speak at once. Okay. So one way, in case you were having trouble with that, is if you find yourself saying, I believe this person or circumstance is the reason that I feel negative emotions. Therefore, they need to change so I can feel better. So here's the problem with that, of course, and we all know this because we're of this philosophy, that you're giving other people responsibility for how you feel. But we all know that your emotions come from your thoughts, so they literally don't have the ability to make you feel upset. And likewise, you're not responsible for their feelings and reactions. You're not responsible for how they respond to you, and their negative or positive response has nothing to do with your own self-worth. Although many times we kind of accept that. And I'm not implying that you can perform egregious acts on such as murder and just blissfully go on your way saying, well, they're responsible for feeling hurt. I'm not saying that. So back to your triggers are gifts of the Spirit. That suggests that emotional triggers are not inherently bad, but can be seen as powerful reminders from your subconscious that indicate areas that need healing, self-awareness, or personal growth. By shifting our perspective, we can use these triggers as opportunities to address past traumas, understand underlying beliefs, and ultimately find freedom and personal transformation rather than avoiding or blaming others for them. And triggers can vary from person to person, and I might say that there are triggers that bring up good thoughts of good experiences as well as negative experiences. And of course, many of our triggers are influenced by past experiences. And some folks might say that not only our past experiences, but familial and cultural past experiences. But there are a few categories here. We think of them external triggers. Okay, think anything of our senses. You know, sights, sounds, smells, textures, what have you. You know, just today in Early Birds, somebody was mentioning this where a certain smell, odor brings memory of a childhood event. And that could be, you know, your grandmother's baking, or it could be the some cologne that your least favorite ex used to wear, or whatever. You know, it could be a range of things, but it comes in through our senses. We have internal triggers. These are strong feelings that arise based on past experiences. Somebody said making a doctor's appointment after having a negative medical experience could trigger fear. Some of us have what's called white coat syndrome. And I can't think I had a horrible medical experience, except for multiple trips to the emergency room when I was a kid, but anyway, I do have white coat syndrome. And trauma triggers strong feelings that arrive based on past trauma, such as the sound of firecrackers and with someone who'd been in the war, you know, PTSD kinds of things. So if you have trouble, here's some hints on how you identify your personal triggers. And you just have to pay close attention to your physical and emotional reactions. Your racing heart, anger, tension. I know some people say, I find my shoulders are up around my ears, so we have to consciously lower them and relax. And if you really want to make sort of a growth exercise out of this, you could keep a written record of events, thoughts, and feelings that are causing your triggers, and then kind of review them every once in a while and find out if there are perhaps some similarities between what's going on. It's kind of like be the watcher, the you behind the you. And another trigger might be just having a reaction that, once you examine it, seems to be really out of proportion to the situation. You know, like, none of us have ever done this who have children, but grounding them for the rest of the year because, no. You know, the tendency sometimes when we get very upset is to do that. All right, so how can they be gifts? Of course, they're indicators for healing, if you will. Triggers can highlight unhealed wounds or past traumas, showing you precisely where you need to focus your attention for healing and release. invitations to self-awareness. Rather than identifying and seeing them as triggers as an attack, they can serve as an invitation to explore your emotions and understand your origins and the beliefs that give those emotions power or those triggers power. Again, talking about pathways to freedom and growth. By tending to your triggers with compassion and acceptance, you move from a place of victimhood to one of empowerment, leading to wisdom and transformation. So first you have to acknowledge your triggers. You know, it's the first step on everything, right, is recognizing things. And the idea, if you maybe journal them without judgment, then identify the underlying womb. What is the past experience that this is bringing up for you? Take responsibility for it. This is not external factors that are these triggers. Practice self-compassion. Hold this close, this discomfort and these emotions with love and compassion. And accept that these are all part of you. And be grateful that these are part of you. This is nothing, this is not bad karma. This is love. And then, of course, you cultivate a new perspective. Sounds kind of like change your thinking, change your life, right? Oh my gosh. So change your internal story and your perspective around the trigger. And then you can release the power it has over you and create a new experience. So let's just summarize. Your trigger isn't about them or some external circumstance. It's about you. You know, as I sometimes say, it's all about me. It's all about you. You're all, I mean, you know, this is just this world of Maya out here. I'm having my own experience here, and many times it has nothing to do with the rest of y'all. You may be showing some things about myself, but that doesn't mean you're doing it, which I've said 3 times at least already. It's also revealing where you feel unseen or unworthy. Again, what needs attention. I say it's kind of like the check engine light on your car. Aren't you glad you got that low tire warning before the tire was completely flat? That's a gift, right? These things are all gifts. Oh, that darn light. I'm just going to drive it till I get on the rim. Right? I did that once, but I didn't have a light. So when the trigger comes up, instead of pushing it away, ask yourself, what's the gift here? What is this showing me about myself? Or as some might say, what is mine to learn here? What in me is this pointing out? So I hope you take to heart some of what I shared this week. Perhaps even do the exercise we talked about. Make a list of your triggers and look for the patterns there. And, you know, even if you make just a small dent on some of the things that have been triggering you recently, it's a wonderful step. And you can be a blessing. You are a blessing, first of all, but have gratitude that you're this dynamic system, I'll call it, that has all these things built into it for your success. There's nothing in your life that is here to push you down. You know, God didn't make no junk. You're all glorious, magnificent folks doing your part to shine brighter. You're such a blessing to every one of us here today. Everyone on Zoom, your blessings. Those who listen to this later on, you're a blessing because you took the time, not for us, you took the time for yourself. And that in itself is a blessing. Be grateful for that. And so it is. So let's just take this to prayer. Well, as we look out through these lenses, these eyes, this humanity that we each are, we look upon Spirit, the all that there is. And what we realize is that it is Spirit looking upon Spirit. We are a piece and a part of that. We are here, and as we lift our consciousness, we lift the entire universe. We're giving back to ourselves and to God the joys of this experience that we are having. We hold for ourselves this understanding that anything that is going on in our life is a blessing and a gift. From that perspective, there is nothing but love. It is only the divine saying, "Come hither, my beloved, come hither. Let me enfold you in the arms of love, the arms of acceptance." As we feel this presence more strongly here right now, we know that this is also a healing presence, not only for ourselves, not only for emotional, spiritual healing, but physical healing as well. And we know this, we feel it now go out to our brothers and sisters, friends and family, throughout this community, throughout the world. So we just breathe this in. We go forth on this day of gratitude with more gratitude, acknowledging, accepting, and being grateful for all the gifts that are showing themselves in our life. We're grateful for this community and the love that is shared, and the mutual reminding of how wonderful, magnificent each of these beautiful souls is. So as we speak our words, we know that we are placing them in the mind, into the law, and God always says yes. Always says yes. We've done our part. We have set this program in motion for all it is that we wish for ourselves and our friends and our family. And we can release it now, knowing that it is done. And so it is.
Here's one you'll remember, and as always, sing along if you feel the spirit, and I know you will. National Harmonica Day. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Dawn of the dark clouds that once had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have slipped away. Here is a rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Ah, everybody, ah, ah, say ah. Ooh. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that once had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Let me out. Let me out. Ah.
Hotel California, you can check out anytime, but you can never leave. It's always a bright, sunshiny day when you're here. Thank you. Let's give it up for Doug. And Dr. Edward, thank you for your message. Okay, now it's time for our offering. If somebody'd like to pass the basket. Thank you, Edwin. We acknowledge and receive our virtual and in-person gifts. We give great thanks for the offerings already given and those that we will be receiving, because we know that giving and receiving is all part of one flow. We affirm that we are also part of that flow. We bless these gifts and know that they are multiplied throughout our community, and so it is. So there's much to be grateful for. There's all of the folks who helped with the service today. It takes a village. We have Cleona back as our techie. We have Edwin on camera. We have our wonderful speaker, Dr. Edward. Thank you. Our special music, Doug. And each and every one of you, thank you for being here. Bless you. Thank you, dear. I do so love doing this. It's great to see your smiling faces, so it's an honor to be here, to be of service. Okay, we thank you for joining us today out there in Zoom land. We had folks from Colorado and all around Las Cruces, Doñana. Sometimes we even have somebody from Texas, so we are everywhere. Okay, if you are able, please stand and let's say together our benediction, and then we will sing our congregational song. Spirit in the midst of us is mighty. Joy, peace, and eternal life are our true nature and flow through us into the world. And so it is. We'll gather in the middle there, hold hands.